This video is a review of the K-12 blueprint for the BYOD planning and implementation framework. This framework provides a 9-step process by which a district can develop a successful BYOD program. As stated in this article, it does require extensive planning, communication, and ongoing evaluation. So let's go ahead and take a look at these 9 steps. The first step, step 1, is to engage the community. This can involve a lot of different people, including parents, students, staff, administrators, business leaders in the community, and board members of both the school board and of various boards in the community. It is important to determine if the school demographics offer a viable technology financing option. Also, parental support, average household income, and the percentage of students who already own devices are important things to consider, and you can only do that by engaging the community in step 1. Once this has been done, you can proceed to step 2. And step 2 is to develop a team. When we develop a team, there are certain roles that we can assign, and this team is the team that will ensure the success of the BYOD implementation, the initiative. So the core team will be developed, which will involve directors, coaches, and they will do detailed planning. They will explore, they'll do the research, the troubleshooting, plan professional development. The core team is the essential part of our BYOD team. From there, we can work with assistant principals who will support technology planning, implementation, and professional development. Teachers should be a part of the team as they will test the new technologies, they will plan the curriculum, and of course we need to involve students who can take on responsibilities of learning new technologies, assisting the staff with technology needs, and giving feedback. Additional support can come from the superintendent, project managers of the technology team, district directors. Once we have developed the team and assigned responsibilities, we can move on to the third step, which is to develop the physical infrastructure. Step 3, developing the physical infrastructure, involves typically updating your network at the district. The reason for this is you need to handle a large number of devices simultaneously. A lot of students will be logging onto the network and accessing accounts at the same time at the beginning of classes. Also, students need to rely on a network access 24/7. We need to have a reliable access, and you need to make sure that you have enough bandwidth to handle multimedia applications. Along with the physical infrastructure, you need to consider security concerns. Once you have developed the physical infrastructure, you have updated your network for the district, you can move on to step 4, which involves developing the software infrastructure. Once the physical has been set up, you can move on to the software. And these software tools will be utilized by the students. Once the students use their devices to log on to the district network, they will have access to the software. So you need to make sure that you have platform-independent tools that can be used on iOS devices, they can be used on Androids, whatever device the student brings, they need to be able to use these tools and applications. Also, cloud-based online storage is a great tool to save your district some money. Now that we have software, We can move on to step 5, to develop a portal. Our portal will be the central location that collects all of the resources that we have done so far. And it'll be a one-stop shop for students, staff, and parents where they can access the web applications, the tools that we have set up with the software infrastructure. And we will have a plethora of district licensed software to access in the portal. Very important to have. Once we have our portal, let's move on to step 6. Develop an acceptable use policy. Since we do not hand out and use district-owned and managed devices, this is very critical as students need to understand what is acceptable to be doing on their own devices, their student-owned devices, and what is not. So an acceptable use policy is crucial, especially for classroom management, for the teachers and for the administration. This will make life a lot easier if this is in place and students and parents sign off on it. Some important things to include in the acceptable use policy: outline appropriate behavior in positive terms, specifically outline inappropriate behaviors. They needed to know what exactly they should not do, and also outline the procedures involved with following or not following the AUP. So when someone breaks the rules, what will happen? And that sign-off can be an electronic sign-off available on the portal that we set up in step 5. So now that step 6 is done, we have an AUP completed. Let's move on to step 7. Build a curriculum. This is the center, the heart of the BYOD program, since this is being used in an education setting. Technology itself does not ensure success. The teaching ensures success with the use of technology to aid the teaching. So with that, the curriculum needs to be the heart of our BYOD. As you do this, make sure that you are incorporating the software that we developed in step 4. Make sure that you're incorporating the portal. Use the devices. The students are bringing them. We're allowing them. They have a lot of power and resources in their hands that they're bringing in their devices. So build that into the curriculum. Don't just adapt your curriculums to use electronic worksheets. Instead, develop a new curriculum. And a curriculum that encourages the use of technology. That includes personal support. Have technology coaches. That includes course companion sites that teachers have their own sites that can be accessed through the portal. And also make sure that you are teaching through the curriculum digital citizenship, as that is a 21st century skill to be working with our students. Once our curriculum is set up and built, move on to step 8. Consider devices. As students bring their own devices, some will have certain features, some won't. So do you want to specify which devices should be brought? Do they need to bring a keyboard with their devices? Do they need a real computer or are mobile tablets and phones acceptable? Also, will you have school-owned devices? Especially for low-income families, you need to make sure that you will have enough devices available for students who do not have the economic availability to bring their own devices. Will you provide device recommendations or purchasing guidelines for the families, as a lot of families will be investing money in the education of their children through the BYOD program. Last but not least, once devices have been considered, step 9, last step, provide ongoing professional development. We are spending a lot of time and a lot of money. We are investing in the upfront creation of this BYOD. So as we plan, as we implement, we are putting in extra funds. Don't let this flop. Continue to provide your administration, your staff, your teachers, your students professional development. Without proper planning, without proper implementation, and without follow-up professional development, BYOD will not live up to its expectations. After this program has been established, we've gone through steps 1 through 8. We're working on planning 9. We are implementing this policy. Establish a plan to provide ongoing professional development and extensive training to make this successful. Now that we have undergone these 9 steps, my opinion and my comments. I think that a BYOD program could be very effective with a school, especially with budget costs. Technology is not getting any cheaper as technology develops, becoming more complicated, thus prices are not lowering, but if anything, they are going up, in my opinion. As a result, BYOD could be very successful. I think that this plan and implementation framework set out in these 9 steps is crucial if you want to ensure the success of your BYOD. Follow these 9 steps. Engage the community. Develop a team. Develop the physical infrastructure. Develop software infrastructure. Develop a portal. Develop an AUP. Build the curriculum around the BYOD. Consider the devices students are going to be using, that the district is going to be using, and then that professional development. I think this is a fairly all-inclusive. I mean, you can tweak it according to your district, according to how you're going to use the BYOD. But this is a great framework to work off of. Well done, well thought out, especially with the examples given with the Oak Hills Local School District from Cincinnati, Ohio. This is a great framework to use when developing your BYOD. Highly recommended. With the proper framework and planning, a BYOD could make education a whole new ball game, a whole new classroom in our public school districts. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.